So on this new page, we've made our divisions here, and the first thing we're going to draw is a cylinder. I'm going to zoom in here so you can see it a little bit better. And a cylinder is just like a soup can, right? So it starts with a oval kind of on its side. So if you would draw along with me, an oval on its side. And then it has straight sides. Don't go all the way down to the bottom of the box. Leave some room here for our shadows. And again, I'm not using a ruler. I'm just doing my best. I'm using my HB pencil. And then the bottom is curved as well, so it mirrors this curve. Okay, and that's what kind of trips people up a little bit. It's curved there. So go ahead and draw that in. And then we're going to put our light source on the left side just like we did with the cube and the sphere. So this is an image of a symbol of a sun to represent the light source. And the cylinder is great because the cylinder's highlight, super easy. All we do is we label it highlight. We don't draw nothing. Okay, and then we want to put in our horizon line. So remember, it just goes behind there, and I'm just going to abbreviate it HL. Okay, and we're going to put in our core shadow. Our core shadow is always directly opposite of the light source. So the light source is on the left side, so the core shadow is going to be on the right side. And we're going to make kind of like curved little lines. Notice it's not on the edge. It's over to the right, but I'm leaving some room there, and that's going to be for our reflected light. So as you do this, I want you to do a nice job. Your goal is to not see any of the paper in between the pencil lines. So you want to go across once, and I'm purposefully doing a horizontal line because it's kind of following the curve of this can, almost like the lines on this can. And you can kind of see my light is directly here, so here is my highlight. But you can see over in the shadow area, it's like lines going that way. So that's what we're doing here. This cylinder doesn't really have ridges, so we're not going to put in that detail. Okay, so that is our core shadow. And like I said, you want to do your best effort in trying to get that dark, and you can see you don't see any paper underneath. Yep, we're just doing this with the HB pencil. If you want to use the other pencils, that's great. I'm just not taking the time to switch. So this is the core shadow. So I'm just going to write core shadow. Just like the sphere, because it is rounded, it has on this side, in the shadow side, some reflected light. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put in some value in there, but it's not going to be as dark as the core shadow. And you can see I'm trying to do a nice job taking my time and don't have a lot of I don't have a lot of paper showing between my pencil marks, or none. None would be better. Okay, and on the left side is also a little bit lighter, but still a shadow, or in the shadow, kind of a darker value. It should look like that. I raise it up like that just because sometimes it's a little bit glary. The pencil has a little bit of a glare to it. Okay, now we basically have a lighter value, a really dark value, and then a lighter value. And we don't want these stripes very much. We want to kind of feather out the edges. So I'm just going to take my pencil and go across the edges pretty lightly and just kind of move that graphite around to get maybe a value in between those values, to just kind of feather it out and make it look not so much like a straight line. And for me, whatever reason, it's easier to go top to bottom. It's harder for me to go bottom to top. Don't know why. Okay, but I'm just creating some different values in here. Some different dark values. And we're going to label this side, just right on this side, reflected light. Now we're going to move on to the rest of the cylinder here, and it's just going to be a gradient from dark value to light value. So again, I'm using the side of my pencil. I'm trying to not have space between my pencil lines or see the paper between it. If I do, I kind of go back up. Okay, but I'm starting to get lighter and lighter values. It is a curved surface, so the light is going to be, this side is going to be lighter over here. There will be some more reflected light and like light from the room that lights up kind of this side of the can, or cylinder I should call it. You can see there I'm just adding in some more value. And I don't have a label for that. So the next thing we need to put in is our cast shadow. So it is going to be kind of curved, and it is going to go all the way over here, but then it's going to very quickly just stick more to the right side. Okay, because that light is coming down here. Light doesn't wrap around corners like square corners, but it can wrap around curved surfaces a little bit. So I'm just, it's going to go off to the right a little bit, so diagonal to the right. So I'm just giving it a place to go over here, and right at the base is going to be the darkest, right down in here. And then it's going to be a gradient to a little bit lighter value. And I want to say that I've been doing this for a long time, longer than you've been alive. So if mine looks amazing and yours looks like a beginner, well, that's what it should look like. Okay, I'm sorry that if I make it look a little easy, or maybe yours is better than mine. I don't know. I'm not pretending that this is the best thing on the planet, but just do your best. Okay, try to take your time though, and that is what will, if you rush through it, it's so obvious. So, okay, and then we'll label that. That is our cast shadow. One thing that I have not put in yet that I do kind of messy on purpose is the background. I do, trying to avoid the form, I do a horizontal kind of scribbled line, but still controlled in the background, and then a vertical line just to set that background, push it in the back a little bit and give it that cylinder a little bit of space, defining the space. So go ahead and do that as well. Right here, the next one is not a cube, it's a cone. We're going to do a cone, kind of like an ice cream cone upside down. So we draw two parts of the triangle like that. And then the bottom part is rounded, just like this here. It really does look like an ice cream cone upside down. We're going to put in our horizon line to start. I'm just choosing a different place just to mix it up a little bit. I'm putting my light source in, a symbol of a sun. Labeling my horizon line. Please label as we go. All right. And a cone is very similar to a cylinder. So again, the right side is going to be our shadow because the left side has the sun, the light source. So I'm just going to go down. I'm going to go, starting here, I'm going to go down, straight down, and you'll notice I leave a little gap on the right side. It's mostly on the right side, but I leave a little gap on that right side because it is a curved form. And I'm going to go back up, filling in as I go. We're doing exactly what we just did here. So it's not that much different, okay? So once you get this kind of code down, like you get the formula of light source on the left or light source on one side, core and cast shadow on the other side, that kind of thing, it becomes pretty simple, okay? And then you can apply it to all different forms, okay? So then I'm going to go on the left and right side of that and go like this. So this over here, again, this right here is our reflected light. Okay, this darker one here is our core shadow, making it a little bit darker. Hold it up here a little bit. Okay, and then as light goes around the form, it's going to, or as the form curves, there's going to be more and more light. And I want to try and blend out so there's not a real line, right? So I'm kind of going over where one value meets another, kind of adding a third value in there. And then lightening up my pressure. I definitely want to fill in where there's paper showing. Just get a real light application. If you want to switch to your 2H, you can. but it's a light, it's a nice even gradient from dark to light or light to dark. And if you make little mistakes, that's fine. That's what an eraser is for. So I have some marks outside of the cone that I'm just going to clean up. All right. Over here is our highlight, and so maybe I didn't leave enough light. Maybe I need to go in, and it's probably actually behind the form is really where the highlight is. But we can mark it over here too. So right over here, that's the highlight. We have to do our cast shadow, and again, because this is curved, it's going to start over here, but it's most definitely going to the right. Start it over here. And as I go, it's going to be more in the shape of a pointy cone. It don't draw a cone down here or a point. Just build up your values. Remember, your values are darkest at the base of the cone. They're going to slowly feather out to lighter. And the last thing that we need to do is we need to put in the background. To set this form apart from the background to make it look a little bit more three-dimensional. Did we get everything? Oh, I didn't label the cast shadow. This is the cast shadow. All right, so there is your cylinder and your cone.